I'm Holger Koch. I'm the production manager of the SMT department manufacturing here in Reute. When I came, we were in the last section from the evaluation with Coyong, and so I passed, or let's say I took over this opportunity and made the final evaluation. We already had a lot of other suppliers removed before, and then we came in the final phase where we had 2 suppliers maybe to support here. They were quite good both in the technical issues, but especially the performance, not only controlling quality, it was more really making the regulation of the quality, making the quality better at the machine itself. Not only inspection was the biggest amount of our decision, and we managed to get that together with Coyong. With a very high performance coming from Coyong, especially people coming directly from Korea to Europe here to help us installing, for example, the KPO here in Europe as one of the first facilities. Coyong, which is originated in Korea, they have a very strong sales and service supplier here in Germany. The company is Madre. And also in our other location where we have production in Hungary, they have a supplier and the support there with Danutec. And these are 2 companies which are really having a high technology knowledge. They have a very high availability, and technicians are also local speech. One of the biggest issues is that when we are making AOI control before of the oven, so in the so-called wet process, we can more easily make changes. Also, we detect faults very early in the process, not after they are already gone through the oven. You can make the repair quite more easy. And the reason of the second AOI in front of the oven is because we are using shields over our components, and not to have X-ray later on, which you can't make really 100% in line or so. We check the components under this shield with the first AOI, then we are covering the PCB and the components with the shield, and then we are making the next AOI to check also the position of the cover and the rest of the components around. We had this reducing by the half of our not okay parts at the end of the line, only with implementing the SPI from Coyong here in the line. So this was a dramatic reduction of our not okay parts, yeah? And it was even not with the KPO installed, yeah? So we see only the SPI brings us to a much better quality. And now with being almost the first production site in Europe, having the KPO inside, we even expect a much better performance now, also reducing maybe by the half of our not okay parts at the end of the line. We have or will have the possibility also to see at the post-reflow AOI what was the solder paste right before. So when you have still some faults at the end of the line, you can check where this fault is coming from. Is it already the paste? Is it the placement? Or is it maybe inside the oven? So you can handle this data, you can get these images, and having a much easier fault detection within the SMT line. We also take this information we get there to optimize maybe printing, to optimize stencils, to optimize placing positions, picking positions, and all these data, which is a huge amount of picture, a huge amount of data, we can use to optimize our process. Also, that we can say, hey, we have with one component the same fault in a lot of different products, or do we only have the problem or the issues with one component on one product, yeah, and with the other it works fine, yeah. So you can have a lot of you have a high variety of fault-finding solutions.
The interface itself is very easy to follow. So it asks us for the particular things and we know exactly what it's asking of us. So the complication is already taken away because of the very clear instructions that pops up.
Normally it takes about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, so it's pretty fast.
Definitely faster because the testing system is, for me personally, for example, I prefer using it because I can see it because in terms of the reconstruction, you can see a 3D reconstruction and it's clearer.
We installed all the SPIs, for example, in round about 1.5 years within our 7 SMT lines. And we have around about 1,500 active different PCBs running with 2 sites, which means we need to install more than 3,000 SPI programs. And we have, let's say, a list where we say, okay, the most running products we need to have first. We are getting stencil data from our suppliers with the stencils, and then we are introducing or making these programs. We do have the same issue with the post-reflow AOI, where we also need to introduce or need to program 3,000 different programs. And that's the reason why we, let's say, increase the staff here a little bit. That's one of the biggest projects we now have with Koyong together. It's the K-Smart 3.0, which we want to get installed here with a test. And we want to connect all the 7 AOIs post-reflow to a central place where we can have the verification of all 7 lines with one person making this verification.
We have the option to remotely access each line, which is of course very convenient for us.
All of our machines we are able to connect via remote control.
I can sit here and find out what's going on in all the other machines.
It's very important, and also it's an improvement of the job of these operators, not to run from each line to the other, not to check everything there, being in a hurry. They can really make the decision from one place with every 7 line, with every AOI we have here installed. If you still have, due to some reasons, a lack of persons here who's making the evaluation, you can also maybe give the workers the possibility working from home. Yeah, they only need to have a PC, and we can also say, hey, our production site in Hungary, hey, just switch on our system and put somebody another worker there who's maybe helping us. Yeah, so you can also make this interconnection between 2 companies or between 2 facilities.